Double busy, getting busy, Yo, what's up, It's me, the double busy. Alright, we are looking good. We have formed the empire. All that's left is Castile and the Kingdom of Aquitaine, which is mostly France and a single county of Provence. But we also need to switch our wife. So diplomacy gets us prestige. Let's go ahead and switch our wife over to court politics. And yeah, that bumps us up to 6% so we can get more fame and become exalted among men. And in fact, let's go ahead and make Malika Al-Muazzama Nazgul. So we're going to make Nazgul, the giantess, our primary wife, so that she can do that even better. And now, let's see what we're at. Ooh, plus 9% monthly prestige. Nice. Alright, having paid attention to some of the goings-on in our realm and our area of the world, I do not want to take on Castile because I don't want to incur a crusade from the papacy. And I know that Jerusalem is already formed, so I'm sure they're looking in other directions, possibly west. I don't want to try to get this holy site that belongs to them. France, yeah, I could always attack them, especially because they're inferior. But the bigger beast to worry about would be the Holy Roman Empire, and they have been consolidating their fractured lands over the years. So I think I want to try to get that one county from Provence. Bertrand II currently presides over Provence? Province? I don't know. Bertrand II currently presides over Provence and the county of Yaligny, which is de jure part of the Kingdom of Aquitaine. So we're going to conquer that county, gain some fame and prestige, and him and his allies are vastly inferior. I went ahead and ransomed my half-brother Abdallah from Emir Bermudo, Rodrigo el Campeador's son, because all I have to do is ask for payment back, and it really didn't cost all that much. Since my opposition has about 4,000 soldiers, I'm leaving 4,000 behind in the care of Mubashir to siege and engineer. In the meantime, I am having Geza use his Reaver abilities to prevent attrition in hostile counties. So rather than losing 200 troops, I'm only losing 100. While Emir Suleiman was finding secrets in Pope Lucius's court, he came across a man named Valderad von Frisiak, an excellent knight and a good martial commander. So, fabricate a strong hook on this man. And now, I can recruit him to my court. Now that he is in my court, I can demand conversion, and he will be one of my knights and commanders. It was a hard-fought battle in the mountains of Ivrea, but I captured Maitre Bosanid, my enemy's heir. However, things are going so well, and there is so much loot to be had, that I think I'm just going to go ahead and ransom him and keep on going. As for this infidel Shiel, I suppose there's not much to do with him except making him an example and ensure that everyone dreads me. In October of 1108, the county of Yaligny is mine. And since I cannot hold the county in my domain, I shall give it to the rightful ruler, my 2-year-old son Prince Abdul Hassan ibn Yahya. Well, really to his counselors. And working in my favor, Duchess Eva of Aquitaine has declared a liberty war against King Hugues of France. By the time they're done fighting, I'll be exalted among men, and I'll be able to attack the Kingdom of Aquitaine. France has 3 divisions of armored horsemen, and their allies tend to have an assortment, but bowmen and coney. So my pikemen should be able to handle the coney already at the same time as the armored horsemen, and now I need light cavalry to handle the bowmen. Both camel riders and caballeros will be effective in the plains of France. So let's max them out. Okay, I'm not able to max them out, but I'm able to stay at my 1,000 gold for an emperor that I like to keep in reserve. In June of 1109, after going on a pilgrimage and holding a hunt, almost catching the white stag, I am hosting a feast in my capital. To celebrate, my fame. Now I will be able to declare an invasion against the kingdom of Aquitaine. In August of 1109, my fays are in good health, my men-at-arms regiments are full, I am near maximum in my levies, and King Hugh is completely depleted from his 3 wars. Now is the time to invade Aquitaine. In September 1109, I remembered that I could be fabricating hooks against people, as well as finding secrets. Count Sebastian seems to have a nice little stash of gold, so I'll fabricate a hook against him. Rather than fight the peasant rebel in Jaén, I granted them a tax lien. We are too busy in Aquitaine. Well, 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 isn't Duchess Ava lucky? Well, look who's coming to dinner. Here comes King Hugh, and I believe his son. Prince Henry? Yes. Well, we weren't able to capture Prince Henry or King Hugh, but we did capture Duke Robert of Auvergne. Our siege engineers have created a new type of weapon to effect deadly damage upon our enemies. Now, I think we will study the architecture, engineering, and layout of our castles. And for some foolish reason, in September of 1111, King Hugh had his son and heir, Prince Henry, running around with 6 parties of knights, commanding just 6 knights. So we captured him, and now we can enforce our demands for the kingdom of Aquitaine. Oh! Oh, wow! Look at that! No way. That's not possible, is it? Oh my god. It's glorious. It's beautiful. Absolutely. I can't even believe that just happened. I was going for Aquitaine, not... How'd that happen? Wait a second. Okay, let's zoom in here. Okay, where's Aquitaine? Kingdom of Aquitaine. Not yet created. Huh, okay. I guess I could create that title. I don't know. I'm too excited. I gotta think about what to do. Okay, I have way too many holdings in my domain, and the vassals that I do have are obviously very angry. So I'm gonna go duchy by duchy to try to figure this out. For example, the Emirate of Languedoc. This little girl has it, and she's extremely intelligent, so I'm gonna give her some more counties. Alright, in the Duchy of Toulouse, this guy appears to be the only vassal. So I'm going to give him all those titles. In order to improve my new vassals' opinions about being my de jure vassals, and I being their de jure liege, I'm going to create the title of the Kingdom of Aquitaine. And to help solidify my eldest son's succession, I'm going to go ahead and grant the Kingdom of Aquitaine to Abdul Hassan. And now he can deal with those vassals. After fabricating a hook on his wife, King Federico Jimenez died of his internal injuries from the wars for Porto and Bragança. My vassals are slowly taking his lands. Now his son, King Sancho III, has taken over. I am waiting for this war to end so I can figure out if I can usurp any of the kingdom level titles, or if I'm going to have to holy war for most of it, and then another war to capture the last county. Alright, we can't seize all of his lands in a single war, and a holy war would only attract attention from the Pope. So we're going to go for one county and one duchy at a time. Starting here with Asturias de Santillana. My uncle Yusuf has declared a holy war for the Duchy of Galicia. I think Asturias de Santillana is close enough that it could be de jure one of these guys, so hopefully he will declare a de jure war. Therefore, I'm going to declare for Pravia. And again, I cannot do more than a county, or that entire duchy. Looking at the claimants, none of the claimants for Santillana are the same as for Pravia. Well, if there's anything I'm good at, it's capturing prisoners, especially valuable ones. Being a calm and forgiving man, I will not execute the young king, but simply enforce my demands. Now I can usurp the kingdom of Leon since he no longer controls any Dior territory. Then I can give that kingdom title to my half-brother, Jafar. Well, I can either wait 5 years for our truce to end, or see King Sancho to a quick demise. Now that I have completed my avaricious goals, I'm going to switch to a medicine focus to lengthen my life. Emir Abad is doing me proud and has declared war on King Sancho for the Duchy of Galicia. Suero is preparing a special trip for young King Sancho. The child trusts he will be brought on an enjoyable day in the forest. Sancho will unfortunately get lost and be impossible to find before nightfall. Oh, he was so young too. A child lost in the forest, it happens tragically often. Or should I rethink this? Is there anybody else willing to join my plot? Ooh, Guillaume de Guienne can be convinced. I think I shall rethink this. An inexpensive bribe in order to further ensure our scheme success. With him declaring war for all of Galicia, Emir Bermudo had also declared for Astorga, and the two were fighting each other. So I had to demand that Bermudo stop his vassal war, and he agreed. Rather than take the chance of being discovered, I think I shall attempt to sway Violante, and when she gets a little more cozy with me, I'll go ahead and bribe her. Emir Abad has successfully sieged down Astoria, but he's only at 30% war score, and his enemy's allies have arrived with nearly twice as many troops. I cannot join his war because they are not a peasant faction, so the only thing I can think of to do is send him enough gifts for him to buy some mercenaries. Violante has been swayed, but not enough to join even with a bribe. However, Eugenia is going to join with a bribe. Since King Sancho is the one who has an alliance, perhaps the barely used trail will end that alliance. King Sancho is dead. The search went long into the night before it was called off, and reconvened at dawn. It was only then that the body was found, bloodied, mangled, and torn, after an attack by some vicious, hungry beast. At least, I hope it was a beast's doing. Thankfully, everyone agrees it is a terrible tragedy, and my involvement, and the existence of any scheme, remains unknown. And they say children are the future. Alright, now, let's see if that guy is still a part of the war. Oh, he is. Oh! He got wounded, though. Okay, let's let it play out a day and see. Yeah, it looks like he's still part of the war. But I no longer have a truce, so hey! Look at this! And now, perhaps, he'll call this guy into my war and I'll be able to fight him. We're not even hostile towards each other, but he's turning tail and running. Well, unfortunately, Emir Abad seems to have peaced out in his battle, and this guy has not joined my war. So, guess we're going to have to make sure that the realm changes hands soon. And now, Santillana is mine. And since they no longer control any of the Dior lands, I can create the Kingdom of Castile. Now, I will go ahead and grant it to my vassal Bermudo. I have the title I want. And since Emir Suleiman is already my spy master, I will go ahead and grant him the Sultanate of Aragon. Well, apparently Cidre was not doing a very good job out there in the islands, so a faction demanded the installation of my half-sister. Interesting. At least I can negotiate an alliance with her. Filomena is preparing a special trip for young Queen Jimena. The child trusts she will be brought on an enjoyable day in the forest. Jimena will unfortunately get lost and be impossible to find before nightfall. Oh, she was so young too. Child lost in the forest. It happens tragically often, even for a queen of Galicia. Queen Jimena is dead. The search went long into the night before it was called off and reconvened at dawn. It was only then that the body was found bloodied, mangled, and torn after an attack by some vicious, hungry beast. At least, I hope it was a beast's doing. Thankfully, everyone agrees it is a terrible tragedy, and my involvement and the existence of any scheme remains unknown. And they say children are the future. Unfortunately, I am stressed out, but perhaps I will learn to become athletic or a journaler, since I have recently changed my lifestyle focus to medicine. And of course now I can declare war on poor little Jimena's mother, who has just recently taken over Galicia. Ah yes, here we go. I feel like going for a run and doing some very athletic things, even in my old age, will help relieve some stress. King Hugh of France died at 60 years of age, apparently from wounds, so he is no longer my chancellor. His son Henry II has taken over. Praise be to Allah, I think this is it. Enforce the demands. Now everything is part of our realm. We have all of Aquitaine and more. We've got all of Iberia. So let's see what happens. I didn't see a trigger. Oh, decisions. Avenge the Battle of Tours. Duh. Tours. In 732, the Umayyad forces were defeated by the Franks on the road to Tours. Had things gone differently, all of Europe would be under Muslim rule today. I will avenge our fallen martyrs and make their dream a reality. Whole bunch of good stuff happens. Avenge the Battle of Tours. Thousands and thousands of brave Muslims died on the road to Tours on the path of the martyrs. They were fighting for a better future, a new golden age for the true believers. Today, that future is finally here. With a firm foothold in Europe, my glorious conquest has only just begun. Allahu Akbar! At 53 years of age, Malik al-Muazzam, Yahya ibn Ashmal of the Dununid Emirate, has done it. I am now known as the Avenger. Take that, Marvel. Alright, now let's see if it fires. Yes, achievement unlocked. Al-Andalus. Alright, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, 1067 to 1117. Wow, 50 years, 5-0. That's actually pretty fast. Got very lucky with what was going on up here in France. And actually got pretty lucky with this whole thing and how quickly this got taken over in those last bits. Thankfully, did not get crusaded by the papacy. Alright, that's it for Al-Andalus. I don't know which one I'm going to do next. Probably either Duchess Matilda or William the Conqueror, since they're one of the big three. But thanks for watching, and that one went really well. Double busy, do-do-do, getting busy, do-do-do-do-do.